I'm really excited to be able to share with you guys this double unboxing, the brand new RAZR Plus 2024 and the brand new RAZR 2024. Both are obviously being launched at the same time, but providing us a very upgraded experience from what we saw last year. More specifically for the RAZR, because this device practically looks like the RAZR Plus from 2023 with a lot of the specifications that match that experience. We're looking at brand new devices from Motorola that are going to be ushering in the flip experience to the next level. This is TK, and let's go ahead and flip the script in 2024 with Motorola and the brand new RAZRs. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. We're going to start off obviously by unboxing both of these devices, and this is a super nice and super exclusive. I want to say thank you very much to Motorola for allowing me to be part of this experience. And we get hands-on with both of these devices. Now this video is going to be pretty much just focusing on unboxing and just initial impressions of what we are getting here, and of course specifications and some image samples directly from each device. So we're going to start off by talking about the brand new Moto RAZR. The first thing I'll probably say is that there's going to be a koala gray, a beach sand, a spritz, and an orange color, so 4 variants available. Now as far as the specification, we're running Android 14 with 8 and 256 gigs of internal storage, and that's going to be on the standard one. It is running the Dimensity 7300X, that is going to be the processor powering this entire experience. A beautiful 6:9 aspect ratio Full HD Plus display, which is a POLED display, and of course up to 3000 nits internally, that's the internal display there, and up to 120 Hz refresh rate. Now, the external display is a whopping 3.6-inch display at 90 Hz, also POLED, but also gives us the ability of going up to 1700 nits, which means outdoor visibility is not going to be a problem. The battery on the standard RAZR is going to be 4200 milliampere, supported by a 33-watt charger, as well as 15 watts wireless charging and 5 watts reverse wireless charging. We have an IPX8 rating for water and dust resistance, stereo speakers with 3 microphones for great audio capture, 5G with SIM and eSIM built in, as well as NFC, which is really nice. When we're talking about the actual camera experience here, the main sensor is a 50 megapixel camera with OIS, and it's going to be the same one on the Plus. And of course, next day we're going to be looking at a 13 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and that's going to be carried over from last year. The front-facing experience is going to be a 32 megapixel camera, and the maximum resolution of video that we're going to be able to get here is 4K 30 frames per second, and that's comparable because that's what we're getting with the Dimensity 7300X, as well as obviously the performance that we get in here. The last thing I do want to mention is that the RAM is an LPDDR4X, as well as the storage with UFS 2.2. So keep in mind then what we get there. And of course, their connectivity and all the different features and the OS and the AI, all of those are going to carry over between both of these devices. Now the variant that I got is the beach sand, and it looks absolutely fantastic as far as the color. And I said the material on the back is very nice. It's not as shiny as it was before, but closer to what we got with the RAZR last year. And that's one of the really nice things I like. The build quality, the larger display, the feel of the RAZR Plus of 2023 onto the base model of the RAZR is very refreshing. The camera stack is very nice, all the gestures that we had before, the fingerprint sensor, stereo speakers, of course Bose configuration in there, as well as their connectivity options, which features the upgraded experience of Ready For from last year onto our device. So keep in mind again, some tailoring is done to be able to bring the price point down, but I love the fact that we have fast charging, a large display on the front, which honestly is going to take 90% of your interactions with this device to the next level, because you're not going to necessarily have to open it up. Now, when we switch over to the RAZR Plus, the experience that we're getting here is very much an upgraded experience from what we saw last year. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, running Android 14. We have 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of internal storage, and those are going to be LPDDR5X with UFS 3.2. So the experience is definitely upgraded here. What we're getting also is that the large display on the inside is exactly the same, except at a higher refresh rate. So 6.9-inch display, Full HD Plus, POLED, but the brightness that we have here, although it's still at 3000, the display can get up to 165 Hz, which is similar to what we've seen on the device last year. Now, it carries over to a larger 4-inch display, which is bigger than what we had last year, still POLED at up to 165 Hz with up to 2400 nits of brightness. And this is going to make outdoor visibility it blast. There's not going to be any issues with this display. It's larger, it's better, runs fast, and of course, still visible. The battery that we have here is a 4000 milliampere battery with a 45-watt charger. That's going to be basically the 45-watt speed for charging wired, 15 wireless, and of course 5 reverse wireless. The battery is a little bit smaller than the standard RAZR, and it's primarily because it's accommodating a much bigger display. So you keep kind of like you have to, you get a bigger display, but then you have to kind of compromise a little bit on the battery. Stereo speakers, 3 microphones, again, still pretty much what we had last year. 5G connectivity with eSIM and SIM support and regular SIM card as well as NFC. The camera stack here is a little bit different. We have a dual 50 megapixel camera stack on the back. The main sensor does support OIS, and the secondary here is not an ultra wide, which is what we had last year. We're focusing mostly on a telephoto, so more that portrait photography. And one of the reasons why initially when I first heard that I was a little bit concerned is the fact that obviously I know a lot of people love to take video or pictures and videos in ultra wide. The RAZR Plus, even the RAZR, are focused on an experience where you actually tend to put the device down and you step back. So I feel like an ultra wide experience is not as much of a focus of this device as a portrait is, which is what we have here. The front-facing camera, again, 32 megapixel front-facing camera, and when it kind of culminates everything here, because we have the 8S Gen 3, we're actually moving over to 4K 60 frames per second as far as the maximum video resolution. And what I like about this is, regardless if it's on the RAZR or the RAZR Plus, that 4K experience goes from the front sensors to the back sensors, and it also goes in multiple modes that you're using this device. So it's really nice, but keep in mind that, again, on the Plus we have 4K 60, and on the standard we have 4K 30. And as far as the main colors that we get here on the RAZR Plus, it's a midnight blue, we have a spring green, a peach fuzz, and of course, which is the Pantone color for 2024, and hot pink. And of course, the one that I ended up getting is the midnight blue, which what I like about it mostly specifically is because it actually has a dual tone experience on the back of the device. They all feature that faux leather, or I guess if you want to call it the fake leather experience on the back, which is different than last year. Last year was more of a, I would say, kind of like a frosty textured experience that we got last year. Definitely very nice, but I feel like the premium experience is still very much showing in both the standard and the RAZR Plus. And again, at the end of the day, we're talking about the experience, not adding more money on the price. So the base price you're starting with is still pretty much the same. What you're looking at right now is a few sample images that I'm taking with both the RAZR and the RAZR Plus. The biggest thing I'll probably say overall is this is not a review, this is not a comparison, this is purely just doing an initial impressions and sharing with you guys some images of how the experience would be if you decided to maybe are intrigued about getting one of these two devices. Both are going to be providing us an upgraded experience. There's a very heavy focus in Gemini experience here with Google integration for both. As far as the assistant, like out of the box, you're going straight into Gemini. There's a lot of AI functionalities added in there from image processing on both of these devices, as well as the ability of actually getting some AI built-in functionalities on device, meaning the device will actually have some built-in functions, let's say dictation, summarization, even image processing in there. And those things are going to be built in directly on device, and some of them running on device, depending on the variant that you're getting. And I like the focus that Motorola is going with right now is definitely bringing this experience to the next level. Software updates, from what I understand, is going to be 3 years of software updates. So we're starting with Android 14. It should be going all the way up to 17. That's definitely very refreshing to see. And I can't wait to get actually Android 14 update directly to our RAZR Plus from 2023, as that was promised in the near future, as I actually did get a chance to ask them during the event. And that was very nice for them to tell us. Ready for has been upgraded to their connectivity package, which is present on both of these devices. It is going to be wireless, not wired, which is something a little bit different. But the front-facing display got a lot more functional options, widget support for tabs, basically for music, the ability of actually doing pinch and zoom and looking at all the different panels that you have, changing them, reorganizing them, putting there. And for the most part, almost every app that you have that runs on your display or on your phone on the inside will run on the outside, which is going to minimize the amount of time you actually use your phone on the inside. If you want to check a notification, respond to a notification, take care of a quick call, you don't actually have to open the phone to see that large 6.9-inch display. You can run it straight on either the 4-inch on the Plus or the 3.6-inch display on the standard RAZR, and that's going to be the experience. Seriously, it's an amazing experience that we haven't seen before. The 8S Gen 3, the 7300X directly are going to basically optimize Motorola's vision for the future that, again, has Google and Gemini and, of course, AI at its core. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of both of these devices? Are you as excited as I am about the RAZR and the RAZR Plus? Because they not only have been elevated, they've been taken up to the next level and promising to deliver way more than what we're seeing right now. Thank you very much for the support. Like and subscribe as usual. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.